It's sad to think that Dunmer would let it fall into disarray like this. Hey, do you need something? Do you need something? Alright, here goes. A special song for you. I'm sure you know it. Our hero claims the warriors. With a voice wielding power of the ancient Roman believe the Dragonborn comes. It's an end to the evil of all Skyrim.
This may be the frontier, but we've still got rules. Break them and you'll wind up in the prisons.
Come on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
I work for Mogrel.
Barkeep,
You got a problem,
I'd like-
you talk to him.
If you're dealing with me, there's only one thing to remember. Take that swill and pour it down a well. Fight well.
The best swordsman in all Morrowind is at your service. For the right price.
Trailer, I have a message for you.
Miserable. Just at least my father will let me drink whatever I want without complaining. Tell Geldis I appreciate it.
He said you know what it means.
Keep yourself. I do. Thank you.
If there's anything at all I can help you with, please. Certainly.
What is on your mind? You lead, I follow.
So, Inigo, I know this sounds like a random question, but hear me out. Do you ever purr when you're happy?
No, I do not think so.
Well, why don't we see about that? Just come here, you kitty. Let me scratch your back.
No.
Come on. Don't be shy.
Not funny, my friend.
Right behind you.
Sure thing. Do you want to have it standing here, or do you want to find a seat first? Alright, now on to the drinks. Do you want to have mead, wine, or just plain milk? First, we have the Cliff Racer. Next up, we have some Dragon's Breath mead. Then, there's the Velvet La Chance, which is a mixture of blackberry, honey, spiced wine, and a touch of nightshade. You brave soul. I'm only going to pour a little. Likewise. Marrying you was the best decision I've ever made in my life. I love you, and no matter what the future holds, I'm going to cherish every moment. It's like from the stories I used to hear, the two adventurers seeing the world. When we're done with this little tavern date, what do you say? Let's go out there and make some more stories. I love you too. I was just thinking about a book I read once. He supposedly found a way to create a sentient encyclopedia. Isn't our soul what makes us sentient? Or perhaps it's something else? Or a combination of things? So, what do you want to talk about now? Oh? Which one?
Does Lydia ever think about herself? She's only ever talked about duty. Nothing about what she likes, dislikes, what gets her out of the haybed every morning.
It's nice, spending time like this, just having drinks together.
Prospecting for ebony? You're wasting your time.
I am here for you.
Mine's as dry as a bone.
What is yours is mine. Okay, if you need backup, I will be in my cell, repenting.
I love your style. You're looking good today.
If there's assistance I can provide, just ask.
I work for Mogul. You got a problem, you talk to him.
It gets lonely out here, you know. Well, tell Geldis that Miri says she really appreciates it. And don't stay away for too long. Oh, hello. You looking for
Welcome to
handouts?
Raven Rock Trap. Always a pleasure to taste anything Geldis comes up with. Next time you're hungry, stop by. I always have.
Looking for any potions? I should mix some of this into my next potion. Who knows what would happen? Remember, I have plenty of potions and ingredients if you're ever in the market.
Mogul doesn't lend coin to outlanders. Look somewhere else.
You haven't seen Cretius Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my pickaxe again. Bring your weapons and armor to me. I'll fix it up right.
Want to buy anything? Geldis needs to bottle this up and send it to the mainland instead of wasting his time out here. His drinks are outstanding. Thanks. If you need any supplies...
Gods, another mouth to feed? You've picked the wrong town to settle, Outlander.
Can I help you?
I used to be an adventurer, but then I took an arrow to my heart. You're great.
As the wife to the second councillor of Raven Rock, you look able to venture outside of town. Perhaps you could help me recover something precious that was lost. Oh, how kind. Thank Geldis for me, won't you? Good journey, traveler.
I've sworn to keep Councillor Morvain safe, and I... What? Oh, no, thank you. I need to keep my head clear. Remember, we are...
On behalf of House Redorin and as Councillor of Raven Rock, I bid you welcome. Good old Geldis is always managing to keep our spirits up, and our eyesight hazy. Thank you. Solstheim is theoretically under my rule, but without revenue from the mine, I lack the resources to actually govern anything but Raven Rock itself. Not that there's much beyond the confines of our town anyway. Well, there's a small enclave of Nords to the north in Skal Village. They pretty much keep to themselves, and we both like it that way. Then there's Tel Mithrin to the east. The Telvanni live out there, sort of a strange lot. But since we're both from Morrowind, we get along. Other than that, Solstheim is crawling with bandits and weaklings. But that's to be expected living in a frontier like this. You've never heard of House Redorin? We're the mightiest of the great houses, and we lead the council, the ruling body of Morrowind. This isn't Skyrim, Outlander. A group of powerful and influential Dunmer families have been ruling Morrowind for millennia. They embody a council made up of 5 great houses: Telvanni, Dres, Endoril, Sadras, and Redorin. Well, of course, with 4 other houses on the council, someone has to keep the rabble organized. Our house leads the council by virtue of our preeminence in battle, wisdom,
Your
and
visit here
ancestral
would be
glory.
tolerated as long as you abide by our rules.
May I have a word with you, Counselor?
Of course, Sindiri. What troubles you?
I was concerned about our food stores. Jalan can only carry so much on each journey, and I'm afraid we might run out.
I'll speak with Garen and see if we can't increase the crop production this season. Sorry, Sindiri. I fear we'll be feasting on ash yams a bit more often this year.
As though you aren't here with bad news regarding my husband, are you? I couldn't bear it.
Redoran Council tasked me with keeping
A few months ago, I had sent an important folio to the first edition bookshop in the Imperial City to be rebound. They sent it back to me recently, but it never arrived.
Am I to suddenly turn my back?
Yes, the Strident Squall, or something like that. The damn thing sunk right off the coast of Solstheim. Can you imagine? One of the sailors survived. Poor thing crawled all the way to Raven Rock on his hands and knees. Before he died, he told the Redoran Guard about the wreck and warned us that it was going to be crawling with reavers. Thank you. You have no idea how much it hurts losing such a precious heirloom. My husband is second counselor, so I certainly have the means to reward you. It's been a long time since I walked the ashlands of Vardenfell. I miss it terribly.
Welcome to
Damn it, woman. I said to leave me be.
Cretius, last time you explored the mine, you almost fell to your death. I'm not spending the rest of my days as a widow.
And I'm telling you that I'll do whatever it takes to find my great-grandfather's remains. He's down here. I can feel it.
That was almost 2 centuries ago. There may be nothing left to find.
Just let me go, woman.
Cretius, you're an obstinate old fool and you're going to get yourself killed.
Who in the blazes are you? Can't you see I'm busy?
My apologies for Cretius's ravings.
Sure. Ignore the ravings of a crazy old man.
Well, that sounds lovely. Thank you. That foolish old man thinks he's 30 years younger than he is. He's going to get himself killed traipsing around the mine. He's convinced himself that there's some sort of conspiracy involving the East Empire Company and the mine's closure. We came across some old letters that belonged to his great-grandfather in our house, and he believes every word written in them. Cretius's great-grandfather worked for the East Empire Company. The letters mention some sort of discovery he was sent to investigate. There's really nothing remarkable in the letters. I don't know what he's so excited about. Gratian Corellius. He was an explorer for the East Empire Company. They'd send him all over Tamriel when they had difficulties in a mining operation. Poor man. Can you imagine doing all that dangerous work just to end up dying at your own doorstep? There was a horrible accident, and he was killed when one of the tunnels collapsed. They were never even able to go down there and recover the body. Cretius is convinced it's a story cooked up by the company to cover up something else, but I don't know. My beloved is almost 80 years old, and I think the shock of finding one of his ancestors' things has left his mind a bit confused. I love him dearly, and I support everything he does, but I can't let him chase this silly idea, or he may end up joining Gratian in a rocky grave. To understand how we met one another, you have to appreciate what he's going through. Cretius is a third-generation miner. All his life, he's lived and breathed nothing else. By the time Cretius came of age, the ebony mine in Raven Rock was shut down. He took that quite hard. Our home has been in his family for over 200 years. Leaving would have been like abandoning precious memories. Instead, he stayed on Solstheim and spent most of his life prospecting for a new ebony source. Sadly, it never surfaced. A decade ago, this drove him into a deep depression. He shut himself inside his home and refused to come out. It was after refusing to allow anyone to bring him food, Counselor Morvain ordered his door to be knocked down before Cretius starved to death. I was a temple priest at the time, and they had me use my healing arts to restore strength to his ailing body. I stayed for a while and cared for him, then I suppose we fell in love. Be careful out there.
Compared to the town, this mine looks much more private. And that's saying something.
My apologies.
Who in the blazes are you? Can't you see I'm busy? Why should I tell you? I don't even know who you are. Maybe. Been difficult trusting people lately. They think I'm crazy. But mark my words, these mines hold a secret that could put Raven Rock back on the map. A secret the East Empire Company swept under the rug 2 centuries ago. It killed my great-grandfather and left Raven Rock with a worthless and tainted mine. Gratian Corellius. He spent his entire life exploring ancient ruins across Tamriel. The East Empire Company called it a terrible accident, claiming that he was lost in a rockfall. My wife and I were cleaning out our home, and we came across some of my great-grandfather's things locked in an old chest. I found an unsent letter he'd written to the East Empire Company, and a key. It describes a discovery that was made in the mine. The East Empire Company must have felt it was of great value, as they locked that section of the mine off from everyone else. It is. Well, I assume it is. I haven't been able to find the entrance. Finally, someone who believes me. I'm telling you, there's something big down there. Something that the East Empire Company wanted to hide from everyone. Look, my wife nags that I'm too old to go traipsing around these mines chasing my story. Time's my enemy. It's caught up with me before I could find the answers that I'm looking for. I do. I want to know what happened to Gratian, and what the East Empire Company is keeping from all of us. Gratian kept a journal of notes about his discoveries. If you can find his remains, I'm hoping it will help. Here's everything I have. The letter, the key. Please. He's begging for patrons again, eh? Well, I suppose I could have just a bit. Be careful down there. The mine can be treacherous.
I have to admit, I agree with Athia here. His story. It seems a little far-fetched. Though, I do admire his inspiration. Maybe it's not so misplaced. It would be worth checking out the mine to get more answers. Wherever that may lead us. It's probably best for both Crescius and Athia. He needs the closure, and Athia needs her husband to stop being so antsy. This is almost exactly like how my father began to act when he found the prophecy. Creepy how history repeats. Avoid these types of ruins.
Not very impressive.
Oriel, give me strength to sleep. I absolve you of your sins.
What now?
All right then.
You know, you're like a fine wine. The more of you I drink in, the better I feel.
It gets lonely out here, you know, on this road.
You lost? My husband Vendel feared visitors would shun Raven Rock. I'm glad to see he was mistaken. Sure, got nothing better to do. May your path be free from danger.
I work for Mogrel. You got a problem, you talk to him.
Miserable. Just miserable. Oh, I hate this place.
Welcome to the Wretching Net's Corner Club, home of the finest Sioux jammer that will ever grace your lips. Welcome to the Wretching Net's, Outlander. Perfect. All that's left now is to go ahead and wait for the patrons to come in. As promised, here's a little something for yourself. There's actually a funny story behind the name, friend. A few years ago, I was walking down by the docks, and I noticed a Dunmer staggering along with a bottle of Sioux jammer in hand. He was one of my patrons and liked to drink heavily, so I wasn't exactly surprised. But you see, this particular Dunmer was as naked as the day he was born and singing badly at the top of his lungs. As I'm watching this spectacle, a netch floats over the bulwark towards him. The man looks straight up at the netch, yells, "Have a drink," and tosses the bottle. And it never hit the ground. Well, the bottle broke on the netch, and it must have swallowed its contents because it started floating sort of tilted. Finally, it stopped and began to quiver. A few moments later, the foulest liquid to ever assail your nostrils spewed. I've seen plenty of drunks in me day, and I'll tell you right now, that netch was sick. True story, friend. True story. Heard that Rinklings got hold of Thirsk Mead Hall, forced the Nords who live there to move to a camp nearby. Come back any time.
You haven't seen Cresius Corellius, have you?
Vendel Severin.
A pleasure to meet you, Sextus.
Hey, don't sniff me too much.